Oh, so this is game one of a best of one. So this is the last round of the best of ones.
Yes, round of 16.
In the European qualifiers. So one best of one to get through.
Helsinki Reds, who are they? They have like the whole teams tagged up and things.
That's the Finnish.
Well, not
that's like the classic Finnish stack.
Okay. I've got not names that I recognise, but I'm interested to see how they can do in this matchup. See what we've got draft-wise. We've got a Spectre, Wyvern, Doom, Lina, Warlock. Oh yeah, let's have a look at the ranks. So we've got about rank 600.
They played like
no surprises here. These guys are good.
Yeah, they're good players.
Yeah, top 260. So and that will be of course on the EU leaderboards as well. So EU high ranks. So we should see some good stuff out from this Radiant side, and we'll see how well Misery can deal with it.
Yep. And what do you think about the drafts?
I think overall with the two drafts, I have to favour Misery's lineup because they've got the Beastmaster, which always is. It's very hard to go against a lineup that gets the Beastmaster. I like the fact that they have the PL and the Ember, again, sort of going to be played in the same sort of manner that we saw Entity do with having the Anti-Mage and the Ember. You have the Ember to make the space, make the plays. You have the PL to be that massive late game hyper carry.
Ooh. Cards?
Oh, cards.
Oh, you can do the cards if you want, yeah.
Hold up.
See down bottom.
If I messed up, that's on you. Just saying. There you go. Do we have it shuffled? Do we have
yes, yeah, we have the shuffled and we don't use the ones that are already...
Oh. Spectre has to be careful down here. CS-wise, 15 for 2.
Helsinki Reds.
The Helsinki Reds.
Damn it.
Oh. Got themselves a Moogie. That's not a bad draw.
I mean...
Misery stack.
Oh, a maybe.
It's a maybe. So we have to go with Misery stack on this one. So the cards have determined that Misery stack will win this game.
Mm-hmm.
So looking at the lane so far, it is favourable for Misery. We have, as I said, this bottom lane where the Spectre certainly is getting pressured by the Beastmaster. Slightly behind in comparison to Madara's farm on the Phantom ones. But I think this is expected. I'll have a quick pause here. But once again, just to keep you guys updated on the status of what we're following here in Europe, this is the final round of best of ones, and then there'll be 2 more best of 3s played today. So in order to make it to the regional qualifiers, you've got to win this best of 1, and then win 2 best of 3s back to back, and then you're there. And the teams, really the team to look out for on Misery's half of the bracket is Elements, as they will be arguably the biggest sort of contender. And I believe that is the team that they actually will meet in the next best of 3. So the first best of 3.
If Elements win their first round.
If Elements win their best of 1, and if Misery stack win this best of 1, that's
Elements
what we're going to get to see.
Elements is the LeBron stack.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah, LeBron's old team, in fact, before he went to Na'Vi. So a very, very, very scary looking stack indeed. So it could be a tough one for Misery and the guys. This game should be, sort of looking at the ranks and such, this should be a much easier game for Misery. And so far we are, as I say, we see sort of the 3 lanes overall. You've got that edge favouring Misery stack. But there's a lot of sort of comeback potential from Helsinki Reds. If they get some good plays around with the Spectre at level 6, it doesn't really matter if they get behind in the CS in these early few minutes.
Just until the pause is done. Also, of course, now they say G. It's unbelievable. Also for even the stack from LeBron, they now have DNZ, who was #1 ranked on the leaderboards basically a couple months back when he was still playing with Penta. So there is a lot of potential on that stack. It's not just any random stack or something.
Well, we did see Womber just take a rune. Oh, he's in trouble, but he can fly over the trees and actually dish out some harass.
Nice.
Yeah,
trying to force back Madara, but it has to be
Very
careful
well
once the Arctic burns wear off. Phase boots finished now on the Doom, so once Kira does get that's level 6, they can try and run down Madara's. Still just posting at the level 4 at the moment, the 2 cores in this matchup. And he is getting very good farm out of lane Kira. So not only Madara getting farm, but the Doom as well in response. 28 for 2, 27 for 2. And Kira looking to get the run down onto Madara, but he's got the Doppelganger to make sure the Infernal Blade hit can't come through mid lane. Shu getting trapped up by the rotation. Misery comes in with the cogs. Shu does get the Light Strike array out, but it isn't enough to allow the team to turn around and take down Misery. Misery will get the first blood and get himself out of there. I'll see where else they can go to from here. 6 minutes in. That's bottom lane. Focus. Getting pressured. He's falling rather low at the moment. But he's got Viper there. Viper pops the mango, and we'll have a Shadow Word to help heal the Spectre back up.
Be careful
As,
though.
yeah, really trusting in that heal there with the aggression. As a wraparound is coming into play from Misery, but there's a lot of backup for this Spectre.
There's a Phoenix as well though.
Let's see what they can do. Saxa's got the spirits out onto Viper, who's trying to spread them so that you can get as many heroes as possible with them. He gets a landing onto Focus as well with the Icarus dive. Focus falling incredibly low. The Cold Embrace and Shadow Word are there to try and heal the Spectre up. The axe is getting thrown out by Kezu, but in fact it's Misery the one falling incredibly low as he tries to hide himself in the trees. They will be able to keep Misery alive, but no, he actually dies to the dispersion, coming back in range of Focus, as Focus will manage to find a couple of them, but overall it's Kezu standing strong, getting the double kill.
That was very scary though for quite a bit. There's so much sustain on the side of Helsinki Reds. That Spectre had all the chances in the world here, but unfortunately not enough sustain to live through that. I thought that Misery was going to be able to stay in the trees for a bit, maybe, but this is like Kira in trouble himself.
Got him in the cogs. Indeed, Kira will not have any escape. Again, Misery making these plays with the clockwork.
Man, he wants to win real bad. He is going.
Siu does get the light strike out, but the flame guard from Kaiser burns him down. As they are starting to take the advantage in these rotations, just managing to be a step ahead of the Helsinki Reds.
So Misery Stack and Alliance can reach in the finals?
Yes.
No.
Yeah. No, I mean you don't play
they're
the finals.
separate halves of the brackets.
Yeah.
So, well, as I said, Alliance can play against Wagger Stack.
Yep.
But that is the different half of the bracket.
Yeah.
So
Alliance
if there was
can
a finals, then of course they would meet. But because it ends at the
that's
semi-finals,
what I meant. Yeah, both teams can make it through.
both teams can make it through. Yes.
Okay.
Misery Stack and Wagger Stack or Alliance Stack. Yeah. Expecting if one of Waggers or Alliance are going to be the team that makes it through that half, as we may see some upsets.
Yeah, of course, you never know. All these people got
Kaiser again able to get an onto Sheever, but it's a bit of a bait. Straight away, there's the turnaround with the Laguna Blade, the Haunt coming through. Can they kill off Kaiser? They're looking to die, but Misery's there. So now the Spectre has to be careful. Light Strike Array not going to catch out Misery, but the Dragon Slave will do so as they punch him down. Misery pops the cogs. The stick charges, trying to escape. Focus, he really wants to chase this. Dagger's out, but the infused raindrop keeps Misery alive, as Misery will get out, and it's enough to bait Focus in, so he gets taken down by Kaiser.
That's a very expensive kill for Helsinki Reds. It's the first Haunt.
Well, they didn't get a kill.
Exactly, that's an expensive loss. As an expensive death.
Top lane. PL being chased. Should tick down to the doom here, so no escape for Madara. And Kira get a second one. He might be able to. He does. He's able to walk in and slam down Saxa with the Infernal Blade. Kira definitely having the sort of the shining performance at the moment out of Helsinki Reds. Getting all the farm on that top lane and now able to use it to its full potential. Taking down two heroes pretty much on his own. As Focus will move up to the top with his Spectre. He's got the backup of Wamba, sort of deciding that this is the safer place for him to find the farm.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Mid lane, Kaiser again. Looking towards Sio, playing aggressive. Another TP will come out in response. It's Kaiser can keep the distance, keep himself away.
Runes. Yeah, they just got 4 runes and this one.
Yeah, it's 10 minutes into the game and 3k gold is already in favor of Misery Stack. So doing quite well there for the Dire team. And they are playing very aggressive, and this is this is a Winter Wyvern that is going to try to save himself. Might actually be enough. Warlock coming out with the heal as well. Yeah. He's okay.
Now they have got a lot of heal between the two of them with that Cold Embrace and Shadow Bird.
They really do.
Very sort of defensive in that sense until these two supports get their level 6s online, and then they've got a lot of team fight. The whole sort of Winter's Curse into the Chaotic Offering.
Kazu's level 9. Spectre is 7. And she has a free lane right now, basically. Ay, ay, ay.
Misery level 7 as well. On
Yeah,
this
he is
platform.
going ham. I mean, he's honestly been playing so well. 2, 1, and 3. Involved in all kills except the solo kill in the mid lane, which is arguably... I mean, you can't fault him for not being involved in a solo kill, you know? Like,
I can fault him for that for sure.
alright, Sheever, you do that.
Should have been there.
Oh.
Oh, what? Ooh,
Hello.
for a second there, he was spared by Womber, but
They have got a fair bit of magical to punch through the cold embrace. That is the thing this game.
not sure if the roar was needed though.
Okay,
Can
so
you
Uh-oh.
imagine?
he's
Oh,
being
there we-
chased down here.
Haunted as well, even they get the kill.
He sort of hang around a little too long over there on his own on Helsinki Red's half of the map. So an unfortunate death there for Kezu. As and Misery will be going towards the Spirit Vessel, of course, on the clockwork. Focus is built this game. As I was saying, yeah, we'll be the Vanguard, and then one would imagine into the Radiance, but it is going to postpone that Radiance timing. It's not going to be super quick because of that pressure that Kezu was able to put onto the Spectre in the lane matchup. Oh, Misery gets straight up doomed here. They do have the slow of the Arctic Burn, but Misery's pretty tanky. He has got Kezu by him. They throw a lot of blast down upon him. There is not a shrine
fine.
available,
He
so
should
it's
live.
going to be close, but
He lives.
Oh,
It's
geez,
level 1
what's
Doom.
happening?
It's level 1 Doom, it doesn't do
no.
that much. Kaiser in the meantime is getting hunted down by Kira.
Let's see if he can get himself out. Jumps down.
Has
Kira.
still got 11 stick charges as well. Misery. He didn't actually go back to base. As low health as he is already ready to get right back in.
He's got the Tranquils, he's got the wands. As you can see, he's walking around with 19.5 health regen, so he's got a lot of sustain to keep himself out on the map and such, and knows that it's unlikely he's going to be jumped upon. They've got great vision over this half of the map, Misery stack. As you can see with the 2 observer wards giving clear movement, clear vision on the movements of the Spectre across his own sort of entrance to the jungle from the mid lane. Oh, and they go. Got the catch. And again, Cold Embrace is just slightly underwhelming in this game. There's a lot of ways to fight through it. Now, Waipu getting caught out as well, coming a little too close with the change from Kaiser there to punish him.
He does have Warlock ult available. Reina Case is there. But they need to find a good scenario to actually be able to take a fight, and at the moment they're just not having enough. They can't deal with Misery stack just yet. That
Oh, the Korea.
Lina doesn't have anything.
I think Misery saw the...
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Well, guess he
if-
can't do anything about it.
No real way to
Radiant's
close the
bottom
gap onto the
tower
courier.
is under attack.
Yeah.
As indeed focus is built, will be the Treads Vanguard Radiance. It's going to take quite a bit of time though.
Oh, Misery. They know he's there.
Get the slow onto him.
There
Focus
is
is
people
there
in
as
there.
well.
He does have health, and he's pretty
Oh.
tanky. Is his team going to head
Oh.
over?
Not
That's
tanky
pushing
enough.
Kaiser.
Nobody's this tanky.
I mean, Kaiser's
Is he?
thinking about
Oh,
jumping. If the Spectre gets low, there could
Are
be the
they?
temptation to go in onto the Spectre. Kezu looking for the Roar, and there you have it. Straight onto him again. Cold Embrace. It's surely not going to save him. They've got remnants there if he wants to burst it. And doesn't look like Kaiser will. I
Ooh.
think
He had no mana. He
He's
had no
out of
mana.
mana there.
Yeah.
Unfortunate there for Kaiser, as the deny will at least come through from Kezu, but that could have been a whole lot cleaner for BlinkPool. They nearly had the Spectre. As you saw there, he threw out all the remnants, but he didn't have the mana to jump to them, so there wasn't that additional magical burst that they needed to kill off the Spectre through the Cold Embrace. So this time round, because of the lack of mana, the Cold Embrace is enough to save the Spectre.
That was real awkward. You
Yeah,
throw out all the
he-
remnants, you're like, alright, he's gonna die. Oh wait, hold on. I
He
can't
didn't
press my
have the
button.
mana.
Did not do the math.
Yeah, no quick maps. Well, I mean, they're still in a great spot. Let's not kid ourselves. But that's kind of the mistakes you need as Helsinki Reds to get back in the game. Also, look at this warning. It's actually crazy. You have one here, you have one here, you have one here, and another one here. Basically, all the movement is being scouted by the Misery stack. Quite nice. I love aggressive warning so much. It's so great.
Kezu on the hunt again. He has got Roar back online in 5 seconds. Getting the warding, the vision down around this high point. But they are being spotted out, and it is We're just out of range of that sentry. Bottom lane focus. And Womba trying to punish Madara for pushing out there. Madara will go for the TP out, but there's the Winter's Curse. Holds him down in place. He has got another doppelganger, but with 3 heroes here, there's surely no escape.
Oh, he's
unless he
baiting.
can-
He's baiting
He's
with the right
trying to bait them out. In fact, that's going to mean that he's
yeah.
able to actually kill off the Winter Wyvern
Another
there.
doppelganger
With that
in a
bait-
second.
Can he actually escape
Tiger.
over here? He's got the jump up, but
Oh.
there is Shu and Kira. There's surely no way that Madara gets out, as the Dragon
Oh.
Slave will finish him off. But with that sweet
got a
little
tier 1
play,
top.
able to get the Wyvern, and as you say, space is created. Kezu's got the pressure now on the top lane. So they are finding trades out of this.
Oh, Kaiser.
Kaiser,
They should know there's a ward now.
he is playing incredibly aggressive, and it's going to pay off in terms of finding the Warlock kill. The question is if he can find anything more out of this. Misery's on the side, but does not have hookshot. He's still got a remnant available to jump his way down there, popping the horn, looking to chase as Kaiser will get bursted down. The Spectral Dagger finishes him off.
Too greedy.
And indeed, not quite worth the dive there from Kaiser just to get that Warlock's life.
They should stop playing like this. Like they have such a big lead.
Any other team would have, like, those kind of mistakes, those kind of trades, you can't afford that.
Especially twice in a row. If you're Number Spirit, you're controlling the tempo of the game. You kind of need to buy a bit of more time for the Phantom Lancer to really get into this big item with the Heart of Taras. You cannot be the guy who's gonna let your team down. I mean, it's most likely still gonna be fine, but honestly, like, come on. And Misery also slowed down quite a bit. Like, noticeably, he had these items since a very long time now. Maybe there's something in the courier though. There is not, except smoke. Well then.
Here we go. So we'll see if they can get some sort of a big catch. Warlock, that's not the one they want.
You got a roar available.
Let's see if they can
You
find.
know where Winter Wyvern is.
They
Let's
want to
see
fight.
the
They want to just go
Spectre.
straight for the Spectre. There's not a lot the Wyvern can really do to help him. He's sure he's got the Winter's Curse. In fact, they're going to try and go on both at the same time here, making sure that there's very little chance. He does still get the Winter's Curse out, but there's no Haunt available for Focus. Focus got the Spectral Dagger into the sidelines. That looks like it will be enough to keep him safe. Misery now getting caught out by the Light Strike. Kaiser will not go back in. He backs off as well. So they do manage to keep Focus safe. The whole team of Helsinki Reds able to get there in response.
Well played, Winter Wyvern. That was really clutch. I thought he wasn't going to have the range for that curse.
Yeah, it was. I didn't think he would get the chance to get it out either,
Yeah.
but the sort of obviously sort of instant animation, cast animation, allowing him to do so around the battery assault.
Very heads-up play by Misery though as well. Going for the backlines, making sure that, okay, maybe I can get the Wyvern isolated. That's a good play. That's a really sick play. Kind of wish it didn't work out.
Do you see the Doom? Drop down onto Saxo. At the same time, Kaiser did find Sue and burst down the Lina. So another 1-for-1 across the map. Still keeping that 6k advantage, BlinkPool, but we have seen them have it for a little bit of time. Yet to sort of push it to that next step ahead. But they do still have 2 cores farming very well. Kaiser, top net worth on his Ember Spirit. And Madara very close behind. But same to be said for the Spectre. And there is always going to be that worry if Focus is able to find that Relic and Radiance. And he's well on his way there now. 2.4k gold on top of the Vanguard towards the Relic.
Dire are
And he's
scanning.
getting closer.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And I want to see some more eggs from Saksa. Like, so far it just didn't feel like it had any impact on the game, though to be fair, level 1 egg is dog shit. It's so bad.
Why did he...
Oh, oh I see something.
Misery.
See, now he has the vessel. Fantastic.
Dire's middle
No contest there from Helsinki Reds. Without their Warlock, sort of a key part of the team fight, it's very hard for them to tackle a 5v5. Let's see where else they can go to from here. It's top. Kira. He's got his eyes on Kaiser, and Kira walks in with the stun. Sio's there with a follow-up Light Strike Array. Laguna Blade. Kaiser, can he get his way out? He can't. The burst is there just in time to take down Kaiser's Ember Spirit.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Let's focus. 3.1k towards that relic. And a tier 1 tower surely will be in the bag as well for Helsinki Reds. They're climbing their Spectre really into this game. He pops the Haunt to get the vision on the situation. They know that they're split up, but they know that they're coming in as well. Focus jumping around. Kezu does not have the Roar available at the moment, and they are still without the Ember Spirit.
They got the Aegis.
They've taken him down once. Kira looking to get in position to slam him down for a second time, and the Light Strike Array, perfect timing. With the Chaotic Offering, they'll take down the Phantom Lancer. That is the Aegis gone, not the Aegis fight that Misery Stack would have dreamt about taking. They lose pretty much all the advantage that they got from getting that Roshan and Aegis. Back to the 6k lead that they had before.
And this Spectre is going to be very scary very soon. I mean, in terms of late game, Misery Stack, sure, you got to peel on an Ember.
Hello. Oh,
Hello?
the Yuke.
Oh, he's still certainly dead unless the Clutch Deny can come in, but no, it can't. They try for it, but Kira has the damage to find the kill. They will get the response.
I mean, it's still worth a trade.
800 gold.
Killing this Ember Spirit will grant so
sick.
much money.
Do you feel like there's a clear favorite late game?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I think you have to give it to the Spectre with the Warlock, right? And Wyvern also scales really well.
Radiant's middle
And
tower
never
is
is
under
bad.
attack.
I don't know, I feel pretty strongly about Helsinki Reds. The question is, can I kind of keep that lead that Misery Stack has on the 5 to, like, let's say 10k range? If they go late game with that, it's fine. If they don't, I don't know. One more item on the Ember Spirit and it's gonna be real scary. They don't really have that much of a peak on the Spectre until, you know, at least another item.
Yeah, one more bad fight from Misery Stack will certainly push it very close to Helsinki Reds being the favourite in this game. And then Kaiser. Quick change onto the Spectre, nothing more. Team splitting up once again. BlinkPool sending some down towards the bottom, keeps some towards the mid. Sacks up. Looking for the solo play on the Wyvern. Rocket Flare does come through. He goes for the hook shot. Would have had it if there was that extra bit of length, but didn't quite have the distance on the hook. So the kill will slip away from Misery's reach. It's Kezu on the hunt for an opener. He has found the Spectre.
Dire's top
He's going to try for it. They've got Misery. Have they got the damage? The power of the Beastmaster isn't enough. Or with the help of 2 more, it may just be. He tried to jump around with the Haunt, but it doesn't matter. The Spirit Vessel ticks him down. Focus will get taken out.
Nice.
Crucial kill for BlinkPool there. Making sure that that Radiance does not come any sooner. As it will be pushed back temporarily. Chains. There's the Wyvern. With the Cold Embrace, but with the beam down from Saxa, they'll find themselves another BlinkPool.
And this is the problem. You cannot give up these sort of fights. You cannot give up a Haunt like this. This is one of the major cooldowns. You only have another one
is under attack.
with a Warlock Rock. Luckily for them, there is no Roshan to take for the Misery Stack. This would have been disastrous otherwise.
Yeah, the lead that they could have got then would have been considerably close to what it was before the 9k advantage. But as it were, Helsinki Red still holding on in this game because of the fact that they have this Spectre. And he is close to that Radiance. It's not the quickest time in the world, but it is certainly still an item pickup that could definitely change the outcome of these team fights. If he can get it within the next couple of minutes. Give him a couple of waves, a free lane, he'll have it. Misery's team are doing a good job of keeping the fights going thick and fast. And here we have another shining example of that as instant smoke up. They know Spectre's back in the game. They want to make sure that he just doesn't have a chance to farm. Vaipu comes up to the high ground, bam. Smoke is dispelled, Misery closes the gap. It may just be a Warlock, but in a sense is that Chaotic Offering now gone for 30 seconds. Kezu already looking up for the opener for a second kill. The Roar to open up onto Spectre. Jump through from Kaiser. Bam. They catch Focus outside of the base too. Perfect movement to make with that
they're not
smoke. And
done.
in fact, indeed, Kaiser coming forward, looking for the Wyvern. TPs will come into play. The Rocket Flare bringing Womba down incredibly low. Kira looking to close the gap
Here
into
is the Doom
Kaiser.
available.
Do they have detection? They do. They're prepared.
Oh,
They know
hello.
he's chasing. They pop down the sentry. They know that the Doom was looking to make that play as Kaiser baits in the Doom
Shrine, but-
perfectly.
Yeah.
Shrine will not save him.
Can they push? They got some animals
should,
coming out
right?
for Beastmaster.
Beastmaster.
They can certainly look to put pressure on. The Spectre will be back in 15 seconds. How long until the Haunt? That's the question. It's
Oh,
back
they're gonna
up.
rotate bottom.
So he's going to have Haunt as soon as he's up. So they do have to be careful.
Risky push, I agree, Owen.
As soon as that Spectre's up, he may look to fight. They've got the Chaotic offering. They can fight here, Helsinki Reds.
They can even buy back the Doom. But it doesn't seem like... Oh! He doesn't save himself.
The change kills the Wyvern. Cold Embrace Hill not enough to outdo the magical tick damage of the Searing Chains.
I can bot back. Apparently that's enough to force him away. No tier 3 tower taken. No Haunt used, so at least Helsinki Reds, they can still use that later on.
Yeah, they'll have the Haunt usage with that completed Radiance. As with this creep, it will be pretty much finished and on its way out to focus his Spectre. There we
There it
go.
is. So late though.
It is late, but it is done, and they do have the fight. I'd like to see Helsinki Reds themselves smoke up and try and start something with the Spectre pushing elsewhere, so they can make a fight happen with that Haunt and Radiance, and the Fatal Bonds combo of the Warlock will do an awful lot. There is no doubt about that.
The thing is though, the Radiance is not an item. You just immediately take a fight when you're down 10 grand. You use the Radiance to try to get back, kind of even the game out just a bit, and then take a really favorable fight for you. The question for me is if there is even going to be one of those fights, because so far we've been the Misery Stack just being so active on the map. They're consistently hunting for basically anyone who's showing. So whenever they're pushing, it's more and look at this, just once again,
Oh.
they're trying real hard.
Instantly popping the Haunt there as he gets spooked. Focus. He knows that they're hunting for him and does not want to keep himself in the same place too long. But it was a very defensive use of the Haunt. So now BlinkPool know that despite the Radiance being there, there's a 2-minute window where there's no Haunt to worry about. So we'll see how much they want to push the issue, whilst they know that they don't really have to worry too much about the Spectre's power in these 5v5s.
And we've seen him getting locked down a lot. Like one war and he's basically dead. So he cannot play any fights right now. This is a very, very, very tense situation. So they're just losing map control once again, are falling further and further behind. They're not...
On Kezu.
Uh-oh.
He's got his eyes on focus. He
Go
has
back up.
Saxa by
Oh,
him.
coming in though.
They can certainly go for this. There's the chains. Kezu, not quite in range at the moment. They're trying to move him in. On the side, in fact, it's going to be Madara going in on the backlines, playing onto one, but the Chaotic offering does get dropped down, but the jump forward from Kaiser with the Remnants, burst down 2, that's focus out of the fight, as well as Vaipu without buyback. They're looking to chase for more, slight from Kaiser, just managed to juke out the Light Strike Array. Madara jumping into the base, focusing down Kira. He has the stomp from the Centaur Conqueror that he swallowed earlier to hold back PL. Siu. Very speedy at the moment, but still, that is the opener the Misery Stack needed. They take down 2 heroes. They move up to the high ground.
Saxa making sure nobody has to go back to
Again,
base.
Kaiser with these slight chains just causing so many issues for Helsinki Reds as they try and come forward for a defense.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
As this looks to be at least a potential set of racks on this bottom lane. Even with the Spectre back up in a second, there's still no Haunt. Misery has the hook shot. They themselves have ults to play around with. In fact, on the front lines, bam, they've called Focus out straight away. He comes in.
Gets no
He's immediately
buyback.
getting taken down. Misery's in with a hook shot. Focus will fall.
That's
Down for a minute.
Let's
The rest of
game.
Helsinki
Right.
Reds being pushed back. The slight comes through, cuts down another. There'll be a buyback from Vaipu as Helsinki Reds will put everything into this defense, as it is a best of 1. Their last chance to hold on in this open qualifiers run, but at this moment in time, it certainly looks like Misery Stack should be the side to take this best of one. As they're 15k up, they've taken a full set of racks, and the Spectre continues to fall further and further behind. Here we go. Mid lane now, Madara. Not backing up, not messing around. The Supernova's down as well as the Roar through the BKB of the Lina. They have got a Winter's Curse and the Cold Embrace on Xiu, but there's the stun from the Supernova. Now holding Xiu down as well. He cannot move his way out of this. They did manage to find Kezia in return, Helsinki Reds, but they lose not just the Lina, but Kira's Doom as well. Both heroes down for a full minute, as now Misery Stack back up into the base, onto a second lane. There's the Haunt looking for Saxa, but Misery in with the hook shot, has the control, focus, trying to jaunt himself away from the fight. But it's leaving Womber and Viper on the front lines, instantly bursted down as jump forward from Kaiser finishes them off with the remnants.
And that is a game.
It certainly should be a second set of racks going. They do still have the tier 2 top, so we'll see how quickly they can push. They are without the Beastmaster, which arguably is their biggest pushing power. So even though the game looks really rocky at the moment for Helsinki Reds, it won't quite be over. They won't be able to finish it for now, Misery Stack, but they certainly are in an increasingly comfortable position. 32 to 16, 32 minutes in, and a 19k net worth lead.
A rocky game, huh? I feel like it's more like
Radiant are scanning.
impossible.
It's more basically impossible.
Yeah.
It's
Stupid.
I'd never write off a game where there is a Spectre.
Sure.
So if they find the perfect scenario, and Fatal Bonds and Chaotic Offering can be an incredible amount of damage at all stages of the game. They do have the Winter's Curse, which is also another ability that can really use the enemy strengths against them. But they have to find the perfect team fight, and as we've seen, Misery Stack have been very good with the positioning. So sure, the chances are slim, but there is still a chance.
Sure, one perfect team fight is not enough though. They need like 3 of them.
I mean, for me at least, I'm looking at these items. I'm like, all right, so Misery might not just die from this combo because there's a pipe. Then there is the Saxo Phoenix who has, I mean, he has his egg. Madara has a heart. Kaiser has his Flame Guard and a cheese. And then there is the Kaiser Beastmaster who's just inherently rather tanky already. I mean, he's the only one dying and he has a BKB. So yeah, you might get your wombo combo, but who are you gonna kill? You need so much more than just a wombo combo. You need a perfectly executed fight. And it's just gonna be basically impossible to get that.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Like you can't even just defend your base. You can't just let them run up high ground. You have to do something about it. And now you have a Beastmaster against you. He has a Hawk, you have Clockwork Rockets, you have some other random spawns, you have all these illusions from the Madara Phantom Lancer. It's gonna be so hard to find. And the Rosh is up soon. Oh, never mind, they have the Rosh up pretty soon.
Yeah, I'm trying to push up top and see what they can do to try and stop it. They have the Light Strike. The positioning, very important from Misery's side, as they do keep themselves separated perfectly. Just having Madara on the front, pushing onto the high ground, making sure that there's just very little chance for any sort of wombo combo to come in on multiple heroes. Kira looking for the wraparound, does get the Doom down. They pop the Haunt as well. They're focusing Kaiser on the back line as they will be able to find it, but no! The Supernova with the Aghanim's. The save comes into play. They can't kill off the Ember Spirit as Saxa comes in, keeping the Ember alive, topping him back up to full health as they will move forward, take the team fight. 3-4 dropping. Kira will buy back, but Xiu getting jumped upon by Kaiser. There'll be a buyback from the Wyvern, but the last 2 remaining heroes of Helsinki Reds just cannot hold back the power that is Misery's Stack, as they'll take the team fight. Triple kill for Madara. GG is called as Misery Stack will knock Helsinki Reds out in this last round of best of 1s, and Misery Stack now enter the stage where we're going into the best of 3s.
Congratulations to them. They'll be waiting for their opponents, which is gonna be either
This might be the never mind. Elements Pro versus Unchained. Let me see if I can get an update on this. And it looks like the game might still be on.
Okay, so we'll take a short ad break now. So we will be right back. If you want to put some music on, Pimp, and just keep the camera on potentially.